Okay, are you ready? I know it's gonna shock you all, but get this. You are not your grades. Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. So things are about to get pretty deep, so I hope you have your cup of tea ready because I wanted to talk about a topic that I think is really important to discuss with you guys, and I'm thinking about actually making a couple of different videos on topics I feel really strongly about that I just wanted to put out there and talk to you about and give my opinion on it too. So I'm thinking of calling this playlist something like Pep Talk with Jess. I don't know if you guys have any ideas or suggestions, leave them in the comment box below. But today's video is all about the fact that, okay, are you ready? I know it's gonna shock you all, but get this. You are not your grades. What? What is she on about? How can Study with Jess tell me that I'm not my grades, that my grades aren't important? Okay, are you ready guys? I'm not saying that your grades aren't important, but I do think that it's just getting way out of hand, and so many students, including myself in the past, are tying their self-worth to their grades, that we feel like we need to quantify our self-worth by a number or a letter at the top of some page. And it's so detrimental to your health, it's so detrimental to your mental health and your physical health. It's putting a warped idea of your self-worth into your mind, and it's just so inaccurate and it's so disturbing. It really bothers me to know that so many people out there really do believe that their self-worth is very much tied to the grades that they get at school, at university, and I really disagree. So think about this. If you get a really good grade on a paper or an assignment or an exam, you feel really good about yourself, right? I mean, who doesn't? It's awesome. You get an A+, you feel pretty good, you feel pretty smart. You go girl, you go boy. But what about if you get a really bad grade, like a D, or if you fail? Do you feel bad about that assignment and that grade? Or you probably feel pretty low about yourself, right? Because I know that whenever I didn't get the grades that I wanted or felt that I deserved based on the amount of work I was doing, I wouldn't just feel bad about that assignment, I'd feel bad about myself. I would have a pity party because I wouldn't feel as smart, I'd feel frustrated, maybe I would think that I am not capable of completing this kind of work, maybe I start to doubt in my own abilities. And so for a long time, I was tying my self-worth to the grades that I was getting and forgetting that yes, your grades are important, and especially if you guys are getting into your final years at high school. But I think if anything, these grades, while they are important, are distractors for what's really going on, which is that you're here to learn, you're here to acquire new skills, you're here to challenge yourself and grow, and nobody is born perfect at every single skill. We all have to practice it, and it always takes time to acquire new skills. And sometimes you're gonna trip up and you're not gonna be performing to your best of your ability, or you're not gonna do as well as you had hoped because of other factors going on in your life, or the way that you studied that information. It doesn't mean that you are any less of a human being. You are amazing because you're you, not because of the grades that you get at school. And I want you to think about this, okay? What sort of things, if you've ever been to a funeral, what sort of things do they actually say about the person that's passed away? Do they ever mention their VCE scores? Do they ever mention the scores that they got on their final exams, or what degree they completed at university, or how much money they made? No, they talk about their personal experience with that person. They talk about the person's characteristics and their traits, that they were kind, they were generous, they were caring, they were an amazing brother or sister or loyal husband and wife. They don't talk about the grades that they got at school. If you apply yourself and you do the best that you can do and you feel good about the work that you're doing, then that's what's important, not the grades that you end up getting. So focus less on the grades and focus more on what you want to get out of going to that class and what you want to get out of completing that degree. And I've been reading this book lately, and if anything, I actually finished it in half a day. I've never finished a book that quickly. It was so good. It was 250 pages. I am not a fast reader. I just don't think I came up for air. It was called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, and it's a very different book to the sort of books I've read in the past. It's very spiritual. It talks about a lot of different things that I'd never actually thought about, that I really wasn't open to in the past. But what I got out of it was actually the self-awareness that I had been tying my self-worth to my grades for a really long time. Since I can actually remember, since I was really young, maybe from my primary school years even. And for me, when I would get good grades, I would feel good about myself. And then when I finished high school and I got into university, I did the same thing without even realizing that the grades that I was getting on my thesis and my final exams also were intertwined with how I felt about myself. And then when I finished university, I didn't have any tests or exams or assignments to complete. So I started to base my self-worth on another thing that I could quantify, which was money. How much money was I making? If I'm making a lot of money, I feel really good about myself. If I'm not making that much money, then I don't feel as good about myself. And I forgot about all the things that people see in me and value me for who I am, which have nothing to do with the grades that I would get or the money that I make from my living. In fact, when I started asking people what they thought of me and how they saw me, the grades that I got and the money that I make never came into the equation. If anything, I got answers like they value how creative I am, or how passionate and determined I am, or that I'm kind and I'm generous, or I care and I'm empathetic. And in hearing other people's responses and understanding how people see me, it gave me a new perspective on life. It gave me the awareness to focus more on the person that I really am and to strip off those layers and realize that who I thought I was really not the person that other people see me as being. And I feel like this is such an important topic to cover because I know so many of you guys are sitting your final exams. I know a lot of you guys feel really stressed or anxious about tests and exams and assignments, and I get so many emails from you guys saying that you're feeling pretty lousy about yourselves, or you're really frustrated, or you're disappointed, or you're freaking out over your grades. And I just want you guys to take a step back and just take a breath, inhale and let it all go, exhale, because you are not your grades. You are amazing, and if you are not getting the grades that you want or that others expect from you, don't feel like you're any less of a person. You have so many other qualities that you can also focus on. I just don't want you guys to get so caught up in your grades. I want you guys to take your education seriously. Absolutely, I do. And that is why I make it my mission to support you guys and encourage you guys and give you all the resources I possibly can. But I don't want you guys to get confused between your grades and your self-worth, because they're not the same, and you should never let how you perform on a test or an assignment make you feel like you're any better or any worse than anybody else in that classroom or even in society in general. And the thing that really upsets me about this idea of students tying their self-worth to their grades is that it elicits such a huge amount of anxiety, and it's so scary to know that there are kids and teenagers out there, and perhaps you're one of them watching, that have just really cracked under the pressure and felt like it's all getting too much, that if you don't get the grades and you don't perform the way that you feel you need to, or that your parents or teachers expect you to perform that way, then it all gets too much. And so many of us, I feel, can relate to the concept of anxiety, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you guys have experienced anxiety to the degree where you feel like it's all becoming too much. And I've been there, I will admit it. I remember when I was in my final year of high school, and I honestly thought I was having an allergic reaction because I did not know what it was like to have a panic attack. And that was my first panic attack in the school library because I was freaking out over the possibility of not getting the grades that I wanted on my final exams. And I just don't want you guys to experience that same level of anxiety. I want to let you guys know that there are so many avenues to getting the jobs that you want in life. There are so many ways that you can achieve greatness in life. And yes, take your studies seriously, but know that if you don't get the results in a test that you were hoping for, that it's not the end of the world, and it doesn't mean that you're dumb, it doesn't mean you're stupid, it doesn't mean that you're not good at a subject. It is one test. And the book that I was reading also highlighted to me that, and I can't believe that I didn't even think about this in the past, but I genuinely did not realize as a student that tests and assignments are designed to measure how much information you are able to retain about a particular topic. It is not there to measure how smart you are or whether you are better than other students in the class. And if anything, I wish that I would have known that as a student, and I wish that I would be able to tell my younger self that if I could just go back in time, it would have alleviated so much unnecessary pressure and anxiety. So I do feel really strongly about this topic because I know what it's like to feel as though you're not good enough. And it's not because people have told me that I'm not good enough. It's because I have continuously told myself that I didn't think I was good enough, that I didn't think I was getting the grades that other people were getting, and so I could do better and I wasn't doing as well as I should have, or I wasn't earning as much money as other people that I knew, and so again, I'm not good enough. Don't ever base your self-worth on something that you can quantify, because you are so much more than that. And I feel like this video is bordering on a self-love video at the same time, but essentially it really is. If you believe that you are good enough and you believe that there is more to you than your grades, then you will learn to love yourself even more, and all of the beautiful qualities that you possess are just going to bloom unexpectedly. And so I really encourage you guys to think about what makes you you, and how do you think other people see you? Why is it that we can accept our best friends exactly as they are? Why is it that we can accept our partners exactly as they are? I look at Adam and I tell him all the time, I love you exactly as you are, and for the person that you are, I don't ever want you to change. And yet for years, for my entire life, up until very recently, I was always expecting more from myself, and things weren't good enough. And if I did really well, I could still do better. And I just think it's so important to take that pressure off and accept ourselves for who we are, because if we can do that for our friends and our family and our partners, then why shouldn't we be doing it for ourselves as well? And I love this line that I heard at a presentation the other day, which was, "You are unique just like everybody else." So I love how it contradicts itself, but I think that it really just shows that we all have our own strengths and we all have our own talents. And I don't even think you guys realize how untapped your talents are at this point in time, because I know a lot of you guys are so young, but trust me, one day it's all gonna click, and by the time you do enter the workforce, or even a little bit after that, you're going to find what it is that you want to do and what it is that gives you purpose and makes you so excited to get up in the mornings. And I feel so lucky that I get to love what I do every day, that I get to love being a YouTuber and an author and an entrepreneur and having my own stationery line. But I don't let myself get mixed up between understanding what I do and knowing who I am, because that is what I do. My career is how I love to spend my time. It's how I love to put my effort into something that I feel is going to benefit others as well. But I don't get caught up and mix up my self-esteem and self-worth with what I do for a living, nor should you with how your grades are going at school or university either. So I would love to know what you guys think about this, and if you guys understand where I'm coming from too, and you've ever felt like you have mixed up your self-worth with your grades or how much money you make or anything that you can quantify in life, then please, I would love to read your comments in the comment box below. And I just love hearing from you guys regardless. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I feel like I'm just getting really inspired lately, and I really want to open up to you guys. And if I feel very strongly about a topic, then I want to share that with you. And then I want to open it up to all of you guys and open up this discussion, and then, yeah, read your comments below as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, thumbs up for video 1 of Pep Talks with Jess. Also guys, I will leave some cards up in the corner over there to check out for some previous videos if you want to watch. And also click my face over there to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And you can also check out my last video by clicking the image over there. Have a very happy and productive week, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!